Hi everyone, welcome on board to H0LĐ, where you get the reliable news that is tailored for you, and of course where you can actually comment and interact.
I believe a lot of you will say justice has been served, and probably some of you might think this is simply persecution, an attack against the body of Christ, or this is the trying time of the founder of a church, a prophetic ministry. It is called Sotitobire Prison Chapel. Prophet Babatunde Alfa, as he calls himself, has been sentenced to life imprisonment after he was found guilty by a high court sitting in Akure, the Ondo State capital, over the mysterious disappearance of a young boy, of a child from his church. Prophet Alfa was found guilty on a 2-count charge of conspiracy as well as aiding and abetting kidnapping. According to the presiding judge, Justice Olusegun Odusola, the prosecution counsel proved beyond reasonable doubt as regards the evidence brought before the court. Justice Odusola also accused the court of complicity in the entire episode. The prophet and other defendants have been on trial for months after 1-year-old Kolawole Gold disappeared mysteriously from the church children department during a Sunday service on November 10, 2019. Prophet Alfa, who is the founder of the church, located at H0LĐ quarters area of Akure, was accused by the parents of the missing child over the mysterious disappearance of their son, who has not been seen till date. This year 2020, it's a terrible one. In fact, it's devastating. It's going to be 1 year or close to 1 year now that this young boy got missing. He was put in the children's section of the church, and according to the woman, she's pained, and at this point, no one can actually say anything against her. She's the one that has lost a child, and there might be certain things that she is kind of telling the world that might not be true, or there are no evidence about this. But at this point, the woman has to be the person that we will be kind of sympathizing with. It's not easy to have a boy, a girl, or a child, and you lose them at that young age or at any age at all. We are talking of a baby. The boy is barely like 1 year to 2 years old, just a toddler. He was put in the children's section of the church, and the mother said she goes there to check the child here, once in a while, and she noticed the positioning of the child, and she said, "Why is this child positioned this way, and why is it the food given to this little boy is not given to him? Why are you giving him something else?" And before you know it, she went back to the church and to the main auditorium where the adults are seated, and she said something which I cannot actually verify if that happened only on that day, because when you go to many of those prophetic churches, they speak with such authority, and you will believe that in fact God is inside of them, and whatever they say will just come to pass immediately. There is this huge kind of faith and utterances. So she said the prophet asked them all to close their eyes and said anyone who does not close their eyes will not see next year. Imagine you're in a church and you are being asked to close your eyes. Closing of the eyes has nothing to do with spirituality. Closing of the eyes is just to cut off any form of distraction so you can focus. Normally, you don't close your eyes to pray. You lift up your eyes up to heaven. But the present Christian practices that we have, people close their eyes. You don't close your eyes to pray. You pray in seclusion. But if you're in public, let's even assume you're in church. If your thoughts and your mind is focused, you do not need to look at any other person. You pray with your eyes open. But as a result of the distractions, it has become a practice for people to close their eyes, to shut themselves off from anything outside of them, so that they can be in that depth and do what they need to do. So these are very complex things, So she was told, and of course everyone told in the church to close their eyes, and she said she closed her eyes so that next year she will see, because, she's the fear factor of it. And after the closing of the eyes and everything, she went back to the children's section and missing child became the story. And going back to the prophet to speak to him about this, she felt that the prophet would make use of his spiritual ability to quickly see where the child is, but she claimed that the prophet did not attend to her as she thought he would. That the prophet was saying, is it your child? Oh, this and that. And she also talked, I don't know how true this is, because when people lose children or lose their child or something like this comes up, there's a lot of things that spew out of their emotion. She said there is this undue attention on the boy from one of their members and stuff like that. And she kind of added all of this together. Probably they were kind of targeting to kidnap the child or use the child for some spiritual exercises, rituals, or diabolic things. And it could also be that this young child was kidnapped by somebody else that has nothing to do with the church. These things happen. Back then when we were younger, we heard stories of children being kidnapped from schools, and even churches. People do these things. They kidnap children, and this necessarily doesn't have anything to do with the prophet. Now, probably the way the prophet handled it then is the reason why the woman is kind of upset, or the woman just felt like, well, I don't give a damn. In as much as you say you're a prophet and you cannot tell us anything spiritual. The thing is this, the man has been unable to spiritually locate the boy. And I think that is what prophets do. They have the ability to locate, to see. If he's a prophet, as he calls himself, he should be able to kind of tell them, look, this is where the child is. But that is not the case, according to her. He sat down in his office after a while, and he wasn't attending to them, and she got upset. She was panicking, and the thing is this, the child disappeared mysteriously from the church, from the children's department during their Sunday service. And Prophet Alfa, who is the founder of the church, is kind of not, saying much about this, and he's only saying, God will do this, God will do that, God will kind of, show to the world what happened that is not involved in it. Meanwhile, the seventh defendant was discharged and acquitted after the Presidential Council could not prove any case against him. But the six people, have been kind of, taken into prison, and they are definitely going to be there for a very long time. And when I say a very long time, I don't know, a new government might come in and kind of try to, make, kind of pardon them. I don't know. I'm not telling you that's what's going to happen. But as it is, he's going in there forever. And now people are saying, but there are no evidence that the child was buried on the altar or whatever, if the man is kind of, But some people say they heard that they said that concrete evidence against him that was only shared in the courtroom, and that's that. So we don't know. They are not kind of feeding the pop.
I say a very big thank you to those who have taken time to subscribe to this channel. And if you're yet to subscribe, kindly tap on that subscription button and also the red bell icon so you will be notified whenever videos such as this are uploaded.